Hey guys, welcome back to the channel this week. If you're new here, I'm Chuck.
And I'm Allie.
And we are AlliChuck Adventures. And we're so glad that you joined us. This week we're going to talk about some of the differences between Florida state parks and the Florida state forest campgrounds. At quite a few Florida state parks. So I think we know the Florida state park system pretty well.
And we've only stayed at two Florida state forests. We've stayed at the TILLIS Hill, which is where we're staying this weekend, and we've stayed at Holder Mine.
We've stayed at Holder Mine twice now. We've stayed at TILLIS Hill twice now. And I would say that Holder Mine, it's pet friendly. Here you're not allowed to have your pet. We have to keep Nikki in the RV, and we have to take her basically from the RV to the truck and take her outside the park to let her do her business and whatnot. And I think that's mainly because there's a lot of equestrian stuff here. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of, you know. They won't allow pets or horses in the campground.
We've also noticed here at the Florida State Forest that there are a lot of Jeep activity. There are a lot of Jeep trails, so if you're really into Jeeping, this would be a perfect place for you to come to.
Yep. It's been very quiet, very peaceful. I think not as many people come to these Florida state forests as they do the state parks. So if you're looking for a place to stay in Florida and you're having a hard time getting into one of the state parks, you know, the state forest might be a good alternative for you. And I mean, it has all the same amenities, the bathrooms, you have all the hookups. The sites are huge here at the state forest. You know, Holder Mine's a little smaller, but we do want to check out a few more of the state forest parks and in the future.
So one of the similarities that I would definitely say is that there's a lot of trails here as well as state parks. You've got that definite camping vibe, that feel to it.
It's definitely not 1,000 trails like a resort. It's right. Camping, you know.
It is true camping. You'll see a lot of tents.
Yep.
And
you're not packed in on top of each other like you are in a resort. So those similarities do exist. One thing we were going to say about some of the differences between the two was that the state forest did not have gates and gate codes to get in, whereas all the state parks you have to have a gate code and they lock the gate at a certain time at night.
Well,
now here,
this time when we came, there was a gate.
And it locks every time you come in, day or night. So that's different. You know, the Florida state parks, they will keep them open until 9 or 10 o'clock and then they will close them.
And we actually went and checked out Holder Mine just to see, because we were over that way, and they've got a gate now too. So
I'm assuming that all the state forest, parks now have the gates. They're really nice gates too, I would say.
Yeah, really nice.
So it gives you a little bit more of a feeling of peace and security that, not just anybody can come in here. And because you are, in the state forest, you're out in the middle of a forest. So you're not close to, towns as like you are with most of the state parks. Generally, you're not far from a city or a town. Here, we're out in the middle of it. Another big difference that we've noticed between the Florida State Forest and the Florida State Parks is there is no ranger station. There is no check-in. So when you pull up to a Florida State Park, you normally pull up to a ranger station, tell them your name and your reservation, and they give you a parking pass, etc. This is not the case at the Florida State Forest. You just book online, you just show up, and you just go to your site and you stay. One thing that was great is we got some great night sky the last couple nights we've been here.
True.
So you're out away from the city, you don't get the city lights and all that kind of thing, and you can see the stars and the Milky Way. We saw the Milky Way.
So one of the differences we've noticed between the state parks and the Florida State Forest is that there is no utility fee for the Florida State Forest. It's about saving you almost $8 a night. So that's good savings. So
it's Sunday afternoon here at TILLIS Hill, and I think we're basically one of only 2 or 3 other campers left. That is one thing we have noticed with the Florida State Forest, that they get busier on the weekend, because you will see some people come out camping and they'll have their Jeeps and they'll be doing all the off-roading things. But as Sunday comes, or as we've stayed a couple times on a Monday, it's basically been just us and no one else. And that is really nice. So quiet, so peaceful. So if you're looking for like a place just to stay, you want the full hookups, but you're not really interested in like things to do, you just want to relax, or if you're into off-roading, you know, these Florida State forests are really nice for that. Not that this is a huge deal, but the 2 Florida State Forest campgrounds we've stayed at, they've also had these, you know, bumpers to show you your campsite, and they're numbered. They also have numbers on their picnic tables. I've never seen that at any of the Florida State parks we've been at so far. Another thing we say is the 2 Florida State Forest campgrounds we've stayed at, there are dirt gravel roads that you have to navigate to get to them. Never seen that with a Florida State park. So be prepared for your rig to get dusty and dirty, and you have to kind of go slow. But with all that said, we love both the Florida State parks and these Florida State forests. I would say it's worth the utility fee to stay at the state parks sometimes, because you're staying next to a famous town such as St. Augustine, or you're in the Keys. Also, when you're staying at like a state park, you're generally staying next to something of an attraction, like a spring, a river, you know, things of that nature. Where the Florida State Forest is more, you're just in the forest. It's good for jeeping and off-roading, like we said, but it's basically a good place to stay and just enjoy some peace and quiet.
Right.
So I have to say, we really enjoyed our new little cast iron, you know, griller thing that we threw on the fire to make our campfire pies last night. They turned out great. My mouth's hurting today just because of I didn't wait and let it cool good enough after pulling it out of the fire, but turned out great. We love those. And I have to say, we really loved our new Maxchocks. Zip, zip, done. Well, I'm not looking forward to leaving, but I'm looking forward to the experience of just zipping them in and zipping them out and packing them back up.
So last time we were here, we checked out Dame's Cave, and today we've decided to go check out the Peace Cave. So yesterday, all the guys got together and from our church, and they went out and checked out Peace Cave, and they liked it so much they wanted to bring us back.
Allie is in the cave. Look at her. She made it.
I don't know how I did it, but
It took 5 minutes to get her down in the hole, but
screaming and little
panic attack.
But I made it.
She's in. And now we just hope our flashlight don't fail, because it's dark as the ace of spades in here. We have to use our phone flashlight to be able to see anything. And we're only in the first part of the cave. What do you think?
That's cool.
I didn't actually go back in here at all. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see it now. Oh yeah. Hell no, I'm not going through there.
Light it so I can see where I'm going. So what happens when you climb over that?
You come out the other side over there. Woo! It's tight in here. And I'm making my way back out. And Nikki, you want to go into Peace Cave? So what'd you think of Peace Cave? You did it.
I did it. I was a little scared going down. I don't have very strong muscles. But once I got down there, it was really neat.
I had to get down in front and help her down in, but
I made it.
We got in there, we turned off the light, and it's pitch black. So make sure you got good lights and power for those lights if you go down in there.
And it was warm. I was very surprised.
Very
Usually
hot.
When you're down below underground, usually it's pretty chilly, but no,
It was hot.
this was
humid.
hot. Here. I can't see if I can stand up.
You can stand up, yep. We are in Dame's Cave now. What do you think, Nikki? What do you think? There's holes in the wall. Look at that hole there. Lots of graffiti. Nikki, this was your first time here, huh? We're just sitting here getting ready to watch some YouTube with the Stevensons. We're pretty much like done campfiring for the night, and all of a sudden Allie sees water gushing out from underneath our island. As it turned out, so this had come loose. She was just rinsing off some forks and silverware or whatever from feeding Nikki, and we didn't know that that was loose, and it just drained out all underneath our island here. So, fun times. Do I see anything wrong with this picture right here?
It's a Chevy?
I think, but I'm not sure.
The
camper might be backwards. That would be a little interesting towing down the road.
We had a really good weekend. We really enjoyed seeing Jamie and Sharon again. We always enjoy being with them. Ethan wasn't with us this time, which we were really sad because we love having him be a part of the group, and of course Nikki really loves Ethan. But it was really good just being able to spend time with them and enjoy the Jeeping and all the good food and the relaxation.
And he's done. Nice. Satisfied with him, huh?
Oh, very much. Yeah.
Now we've just got through talking about all the Florida state parks and the Florida State Forest. Guess what? Next weekend we're going to go to a county park, which is a Pasco County RV park with the Lacucci River.
We've been there several times, and I had mentioned to Chuck that I wanted to go back because we love going there around Halloween time, and so this will be perfect time because Halloween will be the following Monday. This will be our 3rd year in a row going there. I just love that church at Halloween. It's so neat to see it.
It really